Hey, Call Haloyim, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. I want to say shalom and salutation to you brothers out here that's pushing the words of truth and sincerity, shalom. And I got this picture that just kind of says it all. It's very foretelling, you know. I didn't think I was gonna even have anything to say on this topic, but that title right there just triggered me into thinking about persecution and the simplicity of the times we in, but also the severity of the measures that we're gonna have to endure in these last days. So as you can see, the title says Chris Rock says only reason he watched Will Smith's movie Emancipation was to watch him get whipped. And I think that's a statement that a lot of people are getting off messed up over. But us as Hebrew Israelites, we expecting the callous and the maliciousness of our people to come out, especially in these end times, and specifically for us who turn back to the Lord. The scriptures tell you that in the last days there shall be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right? The scriptures tell you that in Revelations, was it 2:10, that you shall be cast into prison 10 days. 10 is a numerical number of completion, according to the Bible. So it can be a complete amount of days, meaning how many ever to complete whatever the Lord's will was. And it just lets you know the severity and the seriousness of how the love of many is waxing cold. And the Lord warned of this. He told us about this. All right. So we can expect it in these end times, about the hatred that's going to come from among our own people towards us. Now, we can see this every day when we turn on the news. You can watch, all right, GMS North Carolina, Ella Hawad out there, and listen to in the news, and you're going to find how callous people already are. But you don't often hear somebody speak out talking about the only reason I watch the movie is to watch somebody get whipped. You don't not necessarily hear Jake reciting, let's say, clan values and morals. You know what I mean? Edomite values and morals. But whether it was staged, the comment came out and it just triggered, a response. It deserves a good enough response as far as scripture goes. So without further ado, talk to your ear off already. Let's get some precepts. Matthews 10:16 says the title says a hard road before them. Who's the them? Israel. We're gonna breeze through these. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Just put a sheep next to a wolf and you get the idea. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So that's the dynamic and the duality of what we are and how we play out every day. That's a daily meditation scripture. Wise as serpent, harmless as dove. Wise as serpent, harmless as dove. Right? But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the synagogue, to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. And that happened with Peter and Paul, right? Men of the Lord, his disciples, his apostles, went on to be tried. I believe when Paul is referencing taken out of the mouth of a lion, he's referencing being before Nero's court. All right, don't quote me on that one, but that's what the commentary would say when Paul referred to being taken out of the mouth of the lion. He's referring to being taken out of emperor, taken from amongst, like escaping Emperor Nero's judgment somehow. But they shall deliver you up, take no thought on how you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh through you. So that's what we do have. But we have an understanding that these things will happen again. Why? Because in the latter days, great insurrection shall come upon those that fear the Lord. Matthew 10:21 says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall raise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth unto the end shall be saved. There we go. So again, that time of judgment, that time of persecution in this lifetime is expected for a believer. You see, that's why the scriptures say, take no thought for your what shall I eat and drink. Basically, the Lord got you through all of this. All right. This is Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set at variance against his man at variance against his father, and daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be of they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, or he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross, which is that endurance that we going through, that, persecution and trials and tribulation, that's the cross, that's the burden, and follow after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. You understand? So this is what we come into when we come into this word. The title of that is called the meaning of discipleship, right? Which goes into the word discipline, getting corrected, getting changed, getting renewed in your mind, constantly putting off the old man, getting persecuted for good works. All right, having to endure through said trials and tribulations. Matthew 23:20, 23:30, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them of the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them that killed the prophets. So Chris Rock's statement about the only reason he watched Emancipation was to watch Will Smith get whipped. And we understand, there was a cause for this. It's just a reaction. It's a reactionary, whatnot. He got slapped, so forth and so on. You know the story. Not to go into it. Doesn't care. The details don't matter right now. The point is that a man could have enough hatred to basically want to see somebody else get tortured, whipped, and even by the adversary, by Esau now. That's who he's getting whipped by, Edom. And so that's the ultimate get back for a lot of our people. They are so in a dismal and sad and hopeless state that they consider true vengeance or payback for somebody that Esau beats them like a slave or takes care of them like a slave. Well, it's all the Lord's will, you see, because ultimately a lot of our people is going, the 2/3 is going to get beaten and destroyed by various Edomites in these days we in. And guess what the Lord said in Proverbs 1:20? I shall laugh at thy calamity. So it seems like a strange thing, but it's a statement worth pondering on, because is it all right to watch and enjoy a man getting whipped by our mutual enemy? Well, you'd have to ask yourself, how did they watch when Yahushua was getting crucified by a mutual enemy? What was the sentiment of our people? Was it justified? It wasn't justified. He was an innocent man. According to the law, an innocent man is not supposed to be condemned to death. But they said, crucify him, let his blood be upon us. So these people are those that the Lord is speaking about. You have killed the prophets. Matthew 23:29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets, which is the graves of prophets, and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, which is you make nice sepulchres for the dead. You make their tombs, you make their graves by lying on them, false accusing them. False accusation in the ancient world could lead to death. There was no way around that. It says, I say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up the measure of your fathers. That's it. That got to be the title right there. Fill ye up the measures of your fathers. Eventually you will have men that want to destroy the righteous from amongst us. Men that seek to sought to kill Paul and would not eat, fasted until Paul was dead. Made a pact to kill Paul. This is the times that we coming into, man. So this statement by Chris Rock is really not supposed to shake you up. I mean, the old man gets triggered. Man, he said, what? Man, I hate a cool nigga that's going to want to use, you would like the white man. You want to see the white man whip on you. But at the end of the day, this is what the 2/3 want to see about us. And likewise, for a good reason, we want to see this happen to the 2/3. Remember, they become unrighteous once you desire death upon righteous men. You are now unrighteous. Once you desire to see somebody mutilated who is a prophet, who is sent by the Yahweh, a man sent by the Father, you now have become wicked yourself. You're accused of your brother. You're somebody that holds a grudge. You're bearing false witness, so forth and so on. And I'm gonna cut it short. Luke 21:26 says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there shall not an hair of your head perish, and patience possess ye your souls. So that's our job, to understand what's coming down the pike, to understand the tribulation and the trials, to understand that we will have many adversaries based upon the things that we say. They will falsely accuse us. They will want to see us dead. As the Lord said, some shall they call of you shall they cause to be put to death. So there is death in the cards, figure of speech, in your future for some of the men of the Lord to fulfill these words of the Lord, man. And so ultimately, man, you got to look past the idea of like, I just want to survive till the chariots. Because if that's your idea of what is supposed to happen for everyone, and if you are ruling out the idea or the understanding that you could possibly be a martyr yourself, then you haven't really been well acquainted to the scriptures, and you are not knowing the scriptures. Some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And they'll make accusations. They'll stand back wanting to see your death. They won't have a bone or a twitch, or they will desire your death. They want to see your head roll and your blood spill. And it tells you, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends. So, right, Zon Campbell, we say, pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Listen, it's going to happen to many of us. It doesn't matter, like you quoting this scripture to your best friend. You better not do this. You're leaving this scripture in a picture frame on your desk so your parents can see it. I hope y'all ain't like that. Like, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. You're going to be betrayed. The betrayal. Real quick, I'm just going to bring out betrayal and then wrap it up. The word betrayal. Matter of fact, I'm just going to Google it. It say betray means to give over to an enemy by treachery. That's what's going to happen by our closest kinfolk, family members, parents, so forth and so on. I'll be out. This video is edifying. Until next time, shalom.